Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is Omoti. Now today's video will be making this beautiful trouser you're seeing on the thumbnail for kids of 5 to 6 years. If this is what you are interested in watching, kindly watch to the very end, and please don't forget to turn on your notification bell in case I drop any video. You'll be the one first to be notified. Now today's video will be making this trouser you're seeing on the thumbnail. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments, any suggestion, feel free to drop that in the comment section. So let's dive into our today's video. At this point, I just need to film this video. You guys will just bear with me, please. I'm really sorry. NEPA has done their ritual. Please, I just have to film this video. So let's get started. You fold your fabric into two. I'm using a stretchy fabric. Are you getting me? You fold your fabric into two. To determine the fabric to fold, your thigh measurement divided by 2. Then you add like 5 to 6 inches to it. Are you getting me? 5 to 6 inches. It depends on how fuller you want that bell's side to look like. Are you getting me? But as for mine, I added like 5 to 6 inches to mine to know my thigh plus 5 to 6 inches. So the next thing now is the starting point where I'm placing my hand. That's my starting point. From that starting point, I place 1.5 inches on it to measure the length of my sleeve. The length I'm working with is 26 inches. I added 1.5 at the end part. At that point, you see me, I place my tape. I measure 3 inches from the starting point all to the way down. Measure 3 inches. So from that starting point, I measured the hip. Please try and measure whoever you are sewing for. You are making this trouser for. So the hip I have here is 5.5. The crotch is 7 inches. While the thigh line is 8.5. Please, you do the same. You measure your client. So at the knee line, I have 14 inches at the knee line. The next thing to do is to place your tape. From that 3 inches, I measure the hip line, which is 5.5, and I added half an inch to it because it's a stretchy material. If you are working with Ankara or any material that is not stretchy, you add 1 inch to it. But for mine, I'm adding half an inch to mine. So I measure 6 inches at the hip also. At the crotch line, I measure 6 inches also. And I connected it with a straight line, as you see me do in the video. So our crotch line is 14 inches divided by 2 will give me 7 inches. I added 1 inches to that. That is 8 inches. So I did the same thing at the thigh line also, and I connected it this way. You see me do in the video. So I measured out what I have at that crotch line. I have 8 inches. I divided it by 2 to get the midpoint. So at the midpoint, I connected that all the way to the hem part. I measured out 4 inches all the way down. That will serve as my crease line. Are you getting me? So whatever you have at your own midpoint, measure that out till you get to the hem part. So at the nail line, the nail I'm working with is 11 inches. Are you getting me? Divided by 2. 11 inches, I added 1 inches to that also, which is 12 inches. So divided by 2 will give me 6 inches. So I'm going to divide that 6 inches also into 2, which will give me 3 inches on both sides. So what I have at that point, I measured 3 inches at one side and 3 inches at the other side. And I connected it down to the hem line. I connected that also to the 3 inches line I have at the side. So our pants is ready. The next thing to do now is to cut it out. So at the waist part, I'll be coming down by half an inch at that crotch area. be coming down by half an inch, and I will connect it to the side. But I'm not going to cut that out now until I cut out my back, until I cut the back trouser. That's when I'm going to cut it out. And please don't forget to add your half an inch to it. I didn't do that here. Please don't do the same mistake. Just because I'm working with a stretching material, you getting me? Just try and do yours. So the next thing is to follow the shape of what you are saying and you cut it out. This is it after cutting it out. Please, I'm begging, just bear with me. I have to film this. So this is the front. I've placed it on another fabric. So at that crotch area, I'll be coming up by 1 inches. So from the 1 inches, I'll connect it to the side. I'll be connecting it to the side with my ruler. So after connecting, the next thing I'll do is to come to the crotch line. I'll be measuring 1.5 at that point. If you are making use of enough stretchy fabric, you use 2 inches. So I'll be using 1.5 at that point. I used 1.5. At the line line, I used 1 inch. At the hem line also, I make use of 1 inch. So after I'll connect it as you are seeing me doing. When I get to that nail length line, then I'll connect it to the crotch line with the slant curve. Can you see? So after that, I'm going to measure my hip line. You place the 1.5. Please don't forget on that line. That's my hip line. So at that hip line also, I will come out by 1.5. I'm using 1.5. This is a stretchy material. So you take the 1.5 upward that way if you are not working with a stretchy material. But this is a very, very stretchy material. So I will connect it this way you see me doing in the video. So the 1 inches I have at the upper part. So as you see, our back is ready. The next thing to do now is to cut it out. At the side, I'm not adding anything to the side. This is a stretchy material as I've said. So I'm going to cut out. So this is it after cutting. The next thing to do now is to start joining. So you will be placing one part of the front to one part of the front facing one part of the back. That's how you are going to sew. You open it up this way. You place the front pattern on it this way. You sew by the sides. You sew them by the side, the front and the back, right side facing each other, and sew it down by half an inch. You know we added half an inch while cutting. So you do the same thing to the other side also. You sew it by half an inch at the side. So after doing that, you open it up this way. You now place them on each other, the front facing the front while the back also facing the back. You sew it. So you place the front on the front this way and sew by half an inch at the crotch. So this is it. I've sewn it by half an inch. The next thing to do is to place your tape rule at the hip line. Place your tape at the hip line. To measure your hip measurement. What I have, my hip measurement is 11 inches. So I'll be measuring the 11 inches at that point. Just take your time to do that. So I measured my 11 inches and I'll at the waistline. No, this is an elastic. We are using elastic, not a band. Assuming we are using band for this, I will have measured out the waist circumference wire cutting, but we are using an elastic for this. So I measured half an inch at the waist line, and I connected it to that 11 inches, and from the crotch line I measured half an inch from that part, and I connected it to the 11 inches as you see me do in the video. So after sewing it down, you open it up. So this is it. You open it up this way, then at the crotch line, at the crotch area, you place both front and back together. You open it up this way. You place the front crotch and the back crotch together and sew it down by half an inch to the hem. To the hem part, you do the same thing to the other side, and you hem the down part by whatsoever inches you added to the hem. So the next after that is to measure the waist part. So this is it. Our trouser is almost ready. The next thing to do is to measure what I have at the waist. Can you see this is beautiful already? Please, if you have not given this video a thumbs up, do that now. Like, share, comment, and please subscribe to my channel. It will really help my algorithms to grow. So we'll measure the waist. What I have there is 23 inches. I have 23 inches as the waist. So I'll be cutting out a strip of 23 inches by 2 inches in length. The width will be 24, I'll be using 24, half an inch to join both sides. And you see I have 12 inches there. I have 12 inches at that point. And the length is 4 inches. If I fold it, it will be giving me 2 inches. I will be using, no, we took 1.5 inches while cutting the trouser. So I'll use half an inch to join to the trouser. So I'll be sewing down by half an inch at that point, and I have it this way. So this is it. I've joined it to the trouser. The next thing to do is to pass my elastic. The waist I'm working with is 20 inches. The actual waist is 20 inches. Are you getting me? I minus 3 inches from, you can deduct 3 to 4 inches. I deducted 3 inches. I have 17 inches. So that is what I'll be using for the elastic. So our pants is ready. If you have find this video helpful, give this video a thumbs up, like and share my videos, and please don't forget to turn on your notification bell. In case I drop a video, you'll be the first to be notified. Then you sew it down. Our trouser is ready. Can you see this is very beautiful? Can give it a try. This is it. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye.